Hello again, and welcome back to Illegally Cited. This is Jesse here, and I am back for another iOS accessible app video this time. And this one's actually probably pretty good timing as I'm recording this because everybody's getting ready to go back to school here shortly. And there's a type of app that I've always been sort of curious about. I've seen kind of some iterations of, and have never found one that's really been VoiceOver accessible until now. We are taking a look at the recently updated app called Noted, Noted. It is a free app with some, I believe there's monthly and I think yearly subscription options. This is a combination audio and text note-taking app. So let's just jump right into it here.
Noted beta. Double tap to.
And I'm running the
Settings
beta right
button.
now.
Tap to manage app settings.
But basically, the features that you are going to have should be in what I'm using right now because it was just released. The update was released as I'm recording this like a day or two ago. So, like I said, it's a combination voice and text app. Note-taking app, and the cool thing is you can do everything at the same time, and then when you go back and review it, your audio can actually be synchronized with the text that you write. So you're in a class, you're in a meeting, somebody's talking, you're taking notes, and then you can go back and review your written notes later, and then you're like, oh, what did the instructor actually say at that point of the conversation, because maybe I didn't understand what I wrote as clearly, or I maybe missed something, or I just wanted to hear how the instructor or the person speaking worded it again. You can do that. So I'm hoping this will work. I don't know how it's going to with my mirroring setup because I haven't tried it. But I should also note when I tried this at work a few times, not only could I do it just with the phone or like a wired headphone, but I was using my Aftershok's Airs Bluetooth headset, and it worked. Like, it still used the microphone, I think, from the phone because the audio was clear, and I was still hearing VoiceOver clearly. So it's not like when you're on a phone call with a Bluetooth, stereo Bluetooth headset, and it goes to this really crappy like AM radio A2DP protocol thing that they're doing. It actually worked, and I was genuinely surprised because most apps do not generally work that way. So let's take a look at what we got here. In the upper left-hand corner,
Settings button.
we got sort of
Tap to manage
settings
app
area.
settings. All tags button. Tap for all no tags.
We can tag our documents. I haven't really played with that all that much.
Create notebook button. Tap
We
to
can
create
create a
notebook.
separate notebook. So again, you want to create, essentially folders. You can create your notebook and then put several notes in them. So that's pretty self-explanatory. You can, record several subjects in one, or lectures in one subject matter notebook, or, maybe different monthly meetings or whatever situation that you want to do. Then you've got
Notebooks heading.
notebooks.
Search field.
I've got a
Double tap
search
to edit.
thing.
Apollo 11 rocket. One note in notebook.
So
Last updated
Apollo 11, that is one that just comes with the app. It's kind of like your demo. They've got some text in there. They've got some audio in there, that kind of a thing. That's some of the some of the audio from the astronauts on Apollo 11.
Beta testing. 2 notes in notebook.
And
Last
beta
updated
testing. This is one that I've created, so there's 2 notes in there. We're going to go in there in just a second. And then...
Total notebooks 2 button.
Okay.
Total notebooks 2. Total notebooks 2.
And that's it. Like, you got a really clean interface. And I do know from what I've heard, like I said, I will also give you a disclaimer right up front here. They did ask for some people to help test the VoiceOver accessibility over on AppleVis, and I did respond to that. And so I have been working with the developer for the past week or so on a few things with this. So just a disclaimer to let you know that that's what I've been doing. So, and the other thing is,
beta testing. 2 notes
not
in notebook.
only is the interface pretty clean, it supports the action rotor, so I can flick up and down.
Delete. Pin notebook. Rename. Activate default.
So we're just going to go activate, but I can rename it, I can delete it, yada yada. So let's go into my beta testing notebook
Notebooks.
here.
Back button.
So these are just a couple of notes where I was just kind of trying different things and whatever. We're going to create a new note, and hopefully this works. I've got a Bluetooth keyboard to my right here on my desk. So what I am going to do is I am going to, in the bottom right-hand corner, I'm going to do a new
Create
note.
new note button. Create new note button.
Create new note.
Text field. Character mode. Insertion point at start.
Now,
Use the rotor to
I
access
am in
misspelled
the
words.
text field, but in the top middle of the screen,
Record.
I have a record button, and I'm going to hit that right now.
Record. Stop recording button.
Oh, okay. So, this is not, we're going to do a little bit of finagling here. It jumped me away from the mirroring thing. I think you're still seeing the visuals, but you're not going to hear the audio. So I am theoretically recording. Actually, let me double check my button.
Stop recording button.
Yep, we are recording. And let me say hello.
Hello.
Okay, so we are in fact, yep, we are in fact in our note. So I've done my introduction. Now let's say this is our first, so this is our first time marker. Time markers. And then I'll talk about this. So like I said, every line that you do, usually if I'm taking notes, I'm not doing it pretty, you know. I'm writing some sort of a sentence or a fact or a phrase or something down, and then I hit enter once or twice and just move on to the next thing. I'm taking quick notes. So when I go back and play this, when we go back and look at it, what will happen is I can, you know, explore by touch or flick with VoiceOver, and I can navigate those. And since I'm recording at the same time as I'm typing here, at any time, I can review the audio right where my VoiceOver cursor is. So I'm just putting another note there, and so we can demonstrate that. But this is really cool. I've actually had a few clients ask me about something like this. You know, it's like, hey, is there some way that, you know, if I take notes or I record, can I have them synchronized? And yes, you can do that. The one thing that they don't have implemented in, so you can, let's say that I'm done recording and I just want to keep adding to the same note. I can record more and add to the note later. But this has to be at the end of the note. That's what I've tried so far. So if I go, let's say I come back tomorrow and I say I want to edit this note, and then I say I want to record again, go into recording mode, what it would do is it would just append the additional recording to the end of the thing. And one of the suggestions that I had, and I don't know how complicated it would be, but let's say that I used my VoiceOver rotor, and I'll show you that when we're in playback mode. When we are reviewing and I find a passage of text, maybe I want to put some audio, splice it back in the middle of the note somewhere. You can't do that right now. I mean, you can add text anywhere you want to, but any recording that you do currently needs to be done at the end of the document if you're excuse me, or at the end of the recording if you're doing that. So and let's just say wrap up. Okay, so that is just a very brief demonstration of me taking a note. I'm writing, and now we're going to go ahead and stop the recording.
Stop recording button. Stop recording dimmed.
Oh,
Play
cool.
button.
And the VoiceOver came back. So now when I'm in my note, check this out. So in the top middle now, we're in playback mode.
Switch to record mode button.
I can switch to record mode, and I can add audio back in if I want to, but again, it's going to appear at the end.
Play button.
I can play the recording from the beginning. I'm just flicking to the right.
00000. Playback rate button.
You can even adjust the playback rate up to 2x, so that's pretty sweet. So you can even play it back at a faster speed. I did not honestly expect that, but that's a nice touch.
1.0x.
Okay. So it tells me I'm at 1x, but if I
Playback rate button.
playback rate, it just brings up a little pop-up menu, and I can choose even slower than 1x, or I can go all the way up to 2x.
1. Turn off speaker. Note menu.
Turn
Button.
off speaker. Note menu.
Rewind 10 seconds. Note menu.
What
Button.
is in here? I don't even remember.
Dismiss note menu.
Oh.
Button. Hello. 4 minutes ago. Empty list. Note settings. Button.
Okay, note settings.
Delete note. Button. Share options. Button.
And then share options. And if I go to share...
Share note. Export note as share note by iCloud. Button.
So I can share
Share
note by
including images,
iCloud.
tags, and audio to other note users.
Right, so that's the full shebang there.
Export note as PDF or TXT file format. Button.
Huh, okay.
Share audio only. Button.
Share audio only, so...
Export audio.
Okay, export audio.
Share audio as M4A. Share audio as M4A format. Share audio as
Okay,
M4A
so you can
format.
even choose an audio type. There you go.
Dismiss note menu. Button.
So let's dismiss the note menu. Go away.
Dismiss note menu.
There
Button.
we go. Okay.
Exit note. Button.
So let's say in the upper left we have our exit note or back button. But let's say that I'm going to hit play.
Play. Button.
Pause. Record. Stop recording. Button.
Oh, okay. So... And you hear it's not going through the YouTube headset, my microphone on my computer headset, but I'm having the phone close to me. Look at how clear that sounds. And that's through the phone. So I'm going to stop. I'm going to pause. And now we're back. So now let's say I was recording, I was playing it back, and if I wanted to, I could, let's say that I wanted to skip ahead. Maybe I wanted to, so I can take my finger and scroll, I can kind of touch the screen.
Time markers. I can review the audio right where my voiceover cursor is.
So let's say,
27. I can record more and add to the note later.
let's say that I wanted to jump the recording to this spot.
I can record more and add to the note later. 00207.
So it gives me a time marker, a time tag essentially. If I double tap, that's kind of my activate, and I would bring the text cursor there. So, but I can also flick up or down.
Jump to time.
Jump to time.
Activate default.
So activate is your default, so that will move my cursor there, so I can freely move my typing focus to that point if I so choose. Or I'm going to flick down.
Jump to time.
I'm going to double tap. Jump to time, and now when I go hit play.
Play button. Pause.
I can record
more and
add
to
the note
later.
So when I was doing this way,
Pause.
let's pause it again.
Play.
When I was using headphones, the cool thing was I was not hearing VoiceOver talk at all because I was using my Aftershocks headset, wirelessly, mind you, and I would hear me talking and maybe some me hacking on the keyboard there, me hammering away at the keys, but other than that, I was hearing me. No voiceover. So what I could do is, let's go back into one of my other beta notes here.
Exit note button. Exit note.
So what I could do,
Hello. Last updated just now. Time markers. Delete. Move. Share. Add lock. Activate.
oh, and you can lock it too. So if you want to lock a thing so that no one else can access it, you can do that as well.
Add lock. Activate. Default. Delete. Move. Share. Add lock. Activate. Default.
How do I thought there was a rename there. I think it just uses the top line of what you wrote as the name, so maybe that's what you want to do to start with. You can rename your notebook in the rotor, but actually that's kind of an oversight that I just noticed. I think...
Edit button. Done. Hello. Last updated
So if I go to
just now.
edit...
Time markers. I can review the audio right where select all button. Move button. BTN archive button.
Oh, okay, so I can archive them too. But yeah, I mean, so...
Edit.
I know you can rename them. I think I've done it once before. I just forget the exact sequence that you can do it. But let's say
August 14th. Last updated 2 days ago.
I want to go in here,
Exit note button.
and this is just a bunch of babble that I was kind of writing and testing and would send to the developer. So let's say again, I can hit play.
000000000. Play button. Pause.
And now I can go anywhere in the document.
Page 1 of 2. Check with keyboard shortcuts. 004.
So keyboard shortcuts. Let's say I want to jump to that. I'll flick up,
Jump to time.
jump to time. Some keyboard shortcuts. Okay, so boom, it's jumping to that point and it's instant.
Timestamps for each line.
Timestamps for each line. Let's flick up.
Activate default jump to time.
Look at how fast that is. How cool is that? For productivity, that's pretty rad, actually.
00253 button.
Let's pause here.
Play.
So there's really not a whole lot else to say, you know. On the bottom, you do have
Text styles button. Add time tag button.
you have add time tag. So let's say there was a time in one of the other notes that I created, and I just took some plain notes, but I wasn't recording. I think you can actually add a time tag in there so that you can jump to it.
Text styles button.
Text styles, so you can, of course, control the way your font looks.
Highlighter button.
Highlighter, it says highlighter, but it's actually a highlighter.
Add photo button.
You can add a photo. So again, you can do like a really rich, you know, let's say maybe your instructor emails you some kind of a diagram or chart or something that you just want to slap in your notes, or maybe you take a picture of a whiteboard that's got your formula that you need and then you write some notes about it. You can just slap that in there.
Add drawing button.
Add drawing. If you got your little, you want to use your finger or a stylus.
Undo button.
And an undo. So you even have a little bit of edit control stuff. But if I go into, let's say,
Playback and recording 00130 jump to time. Activate.
I'm going to say activate.
Text field August 14th.
And now I should be able to, with my keyboard,
New line. Bluetooth headset.
yep, I can arrow up and down. You see my cursor.
New line. August 14th. New line. Bluetooth headset. The app seems to. New line. Playback and recording. New line. After opening an existing note or start a new.
It's pretty seamless. And like I said, I'm really genuinely surprised at how well it both works with VoiceOver and Bluetooth headsets. The action rotor, where you can instantly like put the text cursor focus there, or the audio, jump directly to the audio. And these other two notes that I created were like 20 minutes long as I was testing and providing some feedback for the developers. So, you know, even if, let's say, you take an hour-long class, couple-hour-long class, it probably won't be, you know, jumping to that point in the audio. It seems still pretty instantaneous. As far as file size, I'm not exactly sure what the file size is when you export it. But like I said, you know, you have the option of kind of like, let's say you mail it. You can probably use something like Mail Drop or something like that. Not sure if you can export it out to... Well, yeah, because there's like a... Let me see. If I go back...
Exit note button. Play one. Turn off speaker. Note menu button.
Well, yeah, because I could go to... Let's go into sharing options really fast.
Share options button.
Share options.
Share note by iCloud button.
Share note via iCloud.
Please wait.
Oh. Okay, right. So then you just bring up the share window, and let's say I want to dump this out to... I want to mail it to somebody. I want to message it to somebody. Maybe I want to...
Twitter button. Dropbox more button.
So if I have my cloud services, if I had Dropbox or Google Drive set up here, I could dump that in there, or, you know, have it in for iCloud. So it just brings up your standard share sheet. So that works.
Dismiss note menu button.
So,
Exit note button.
I mean, really, there's not a whole lot to say.
Exit note button.
Let's go exit note.
Exit note button.
I'll show you the settings really fast.
Updated 2 days ago. Bluetooth
Let me see if I can get my audio destination to go
Download
back.
iCloud using VoiceOver notebooks. Back
Hang
button.
on.
Audio destination. Default audio route. External audio route. Settings button.
Uh-oh.
Tab to beta testing. 3 notes in notebook. Last updated audio destination. Default audio route. Notebooks. Back button.
Okay, let me see if I can...
Noted. Notifications.
No,
Control center. Screen.
I'll re-mirror it,
Highlander.
and then maybe it will...
Screen mirroring.
Heading.
There we go. And let there be audio. All right, so let's go back into our note
Highlander
here.
button. Noted.
Or
Active.
into our app, because now you'll actually hear VoiceOver better. Oh,
Notebooks. Back button.
okay, so it's a little bit mad. That's an AirPlay issue, because I'm doing something that most people are not going to do. This is not a Bluetooth headset. I am mirroring to my computer using AirPlay, so I'm actually surprised it worked as well as it did
Notebooks.
when I was in the app. But let's actually, what I could do, let me try one other thing.
Productivity.
Let me close the app.
No, closing noted.
And then when I open it,
Product noted.
as long
Beta.
as I don't go to record, it might
Settings
just...
button.
There we go.
Tap to manage apps. Settings.
So let's
button.
go into settings.
Settings.
And I'll
Settings.
show you
Heading.
what's in here.
General setting. Account settings. But general settings.
So we got
button.
general settings.
General setting. Settings. Notebook and notes. Sort order. Button.
You can...
Sorting order. Last edited. Archive deleted notes. Always show timestamps. Switch button. On. Note editor. Always show timestamps. Always show timestamps. Time tag offset. Button. Time tag offset. Minus zeros. Use system font. Always show timestamps. Switch button. Off. Double tap to toggle
Oh, there
setting.
is a bug I didn't notice before. If I flick, it always... Every one of these little switches says always show timestamps.
Always show timestamps. Always show timestamps. Switch button.
I mean, I can explore by touch, and if I go directly to the left, I know that this one
Always show
means
timestamps. Time tag offset. Button.
time tag offset.
Use system font.
Use system font.
Always show timestamps. Switch button.
So
Off.
if that one
Double
would
tap to toggle
actually...
setting.
Okay, that's a bug that they got to fix. If the developers watch this. I found a bug for you. They're not associating correctly under settings. I somehow missed that, or it worked at one time and it broke, or either that or I missed it. But there's another bug for you. So yeah, but if you
Adjust
explore by
recording
touch,
quality.
it still totally works, but that's something that they could touch up there.
Adjust recording quality. Button.
And you have a recording quality options, which is great.
Audio playback. Skip /backward. Button. Customize audio equalizer. Button.
And you have even an audio equalizer. I haven't even really found a need to play with this because, I mean, even with the phone a couple feet away, it sounded pretty fantastic. I mean, when I was at the office, it was picking up people in the next cube. So, you know, if you're sitting at the front of the room and the instructor uses a, decently loud voice, it should be fine.
Noise reduction settings. Button.
Noise reduction settings. I mean, look at all this stuff that's
Page
in here,
202.
guys.
Save pictures to photos. Noise reduction settings. Getting started. Button. Debug. Send debug log. Button. Version 1.9.7.
So
Getting started.
there's
button.
your little getting started guide. I'm not going to go into that, but that's something
Page
you
one
can
of
if
two.
you want to.
Notebook / settings. Back button.
Settings.
Settings. Account settings. Button.
There's where you manage like your subscription, your name, and all that kind of stuff. Like I said, you can do like a yearly
Password settings. Button.
password for your account.
Sync settings. Button.
Sync settings, pretty self-explanatory.
Siri. Button. Notifications. Button.
Notifications.
Contact support. Button. Frequently asked questions. But send us your feedback. Button.
And then a feedback
Rate us
thing.
on App Store. Button.
And then rate them on the App Store. So, like I said, with school right around the corner,
Noted.
guys,
Closing productivity folder.
especially if
Line
you're
S
a
folder.
person who
21 apps.
want,
Double tap
maybe
to open.
doesn't
Actions available.
type the fastest, or you just want to concentrate on the class and, write down a few things here and there, really key things as they're talking, but you're worried if you're going to miss something. Yeah, just get yourself a Bluetooth keyboard, some headphones, and this app, and this seems to work pretty dang well. I believe the free version gives you like 5 notes at a time, and then you basically get unlimited notes and some other features. I forget exactly what the difference is, but it's not that expensive for a yearly subscription. I actually did sign up just because I want to support the developer, and like I said, I gave them a lot of feedback and worked with them to kind of iron out some bugs and things like that. And again, full disclosure, the app developer did grant me 1 year of access, of premium access. But I did pay for it. So, I mean, I did pay for, for Beyond, I'm going to be paying for it because this is one, I generally complain about subscriptions, but, if they keep, if they keep updating it, and he's already told me some of the things. Shout out to Terrans here. If they do all the stuff that they're planning on implementing, like supporting the dark mode and all that stuff for iOS 13 and a bunch of other things, and if they keep VoiceOver support up and add additional stuff to it, this is already a really, really cool app beyond any of the other ones. I've tried 1 or 2 of these other ones that have claimed to do audio and text note-taking synchronization, but like I said, as far as VoiceOver accessibility goes, it just wasn't having it. So this works. Go download the app. Even if you're not in school, maybe you're in a meeting, or maybe you just want to, talk your way through some things and then write some stuff or whatever. Noted. It is available on the App Store, and the update that adds these VoiceOver improvements should be live. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please support the developer, support this app, because it is pretty cool. And something that I think a lot of blind and visually impaired people may be interested in using. So, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Follow me on Twitter at BGFH79, Mixer.com/BGFH, and illegally-cited.com. Like the video if you did. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And until next time, I will talk to you guys again later.